championship that the Rockets hope to defend.
This is the NBA on NBC. Today, it's the Houston Rockets versus the New York Knicks.
On an unseasonably mild 53-degree day in New York, a sellout crowd, better than 19,000 turning out at Madison Square Garden for the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets. A look at the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are 32-17. They are 6.5 behind Orlando. The Magic at Minnesota playing later this afternoon. In the West, Houston with a record of 32-17 also. They've won 3 in a row. They've won 8 of the last 10, and they are 6.5 games behind Western leading Phoenix. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Matt Kukas, and we welcome you to the NBA Game of the Week. And Matt, it is now the Houston Rockets of Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. For Clyde, this will be his 3rd game as a Rocket, and he dramatically changes the look of this ball club.
Well, Rudy Tomjanovich told us yesterday they did not want to give up Otis Thorpe, but the opportunity to acquire a star-quality player like Clyde Drexler was just too good a deal to pass up. Now, Clyde gives the Rockets an experienced 20-point-a-game scorer, an exciting open-court player, a tough defender, and a proven winner. And Hakeem Olajuwon told us he now believes the Rockets can get back to the finals once again.
And when the Knicks and the Rockets meet, it sets the stage for one of the NBA's best marquee matchups at the center position. And over the years, it's been an advantage for Hakeem over Patrick.
Well, this rivalry goes all the way back to 1984 when Georgetown, led by Patrick Ewing, knocked off Hakeem Olajuwon's Houston Cougars to win the NCAA championship. Since then, Olajuwon has gotten the best of Ewing statistically, more importantly in wins, including last year's NBA championship. And Marv, what I like about Hakeem and Patrick is that their games have become so complete. Their passing has dramatically improved over the last couple of years, and it has made their teammates better.
Although the Knicks come off a home-and-home sweep over Miami, this has not been a very pleasant week for Knicks coach Pat Riley. For more on that, let's go to the Dean. Here's Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Marv. I spent some time in the Knicks locker room before the game talking to Derek Harper, and Derek was telling me about his reaction to Pat Riley's comments about some of the Knicks team not being professional. He said that that's the coach's job, and he can make those statements whenever he feels it's necessary. The one thing that it has done is gotten the attention of each and every Knick. Now, as far as John Starks is concerned, I talked to Mike Saunders, the trainer for the Knicks. He says that John has a slightly separated left shoulder. He has been getting treatment on it the last couple of days. He won't start today, but he is available to play. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, and coming up, the second and final meeting of the regular season between the Rockets and the Knicks. We'll be right back.
% of sports is from the neck up. Experience tells me he was right. They say only the strong survive. Experience tells me it's true. Now, I know I'm just a rookie, but I see what it takes to succeed. Hard work, strength, experience.
On NBC is brought to you by Miller Lite Ice, the night is young. By GMC Truck, the strength of experience. And by Network MCI Business. Install it in your office today.
For the New York Knicks, this is game 2 of a 5-game homestand. It's the 105th consecutive sellout for the Knicks at the Garden. Let's check out the starting lineups for the visitors. The Houston Rockets, Clyde Drexler in the backcourt at second start as a Rocket. Kenny Smith, his backcourt partner. And up front, Hakeem Olajuwon, the NBA's most valuable player a year ago, starting with Pete Chilcutt and Mario Elie for the injured Robert Horry and Carl Herrera. Rudy Tomjanovich, head coach of the Houston Rockets. And for the New York Knicks, in the backcourt, combination of Derek Harper, Hubert Davis for John Starks, who is available despite the shoulder problem, will play. Davis making his 4th start of the season. Patrick Ewing, the center, Charles Smith, and Anthony Bonner on the front line. Anthony Bonner taking over for Monty Williams, who had been starting for the injured Charles Oakley. And there is Pat Riley. That Friday night win over Miami, his 200th victory as coach of the Knicks. The officials, Bob Delaney, Dan Crawford, and Louis Grillo. In the earlier meeting, back on January 19th at the Summit in Houston, the Knicks beat the Rockets 93-77, keyed by John Starks. It was one of the Knicks' best performances of the season and one of the Rockets' worst. They caught Houston in a bad period. The prior game, they were embarrassed in a blowout by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Knicks working it around on his opening possession. And Drexler gets to the rebound. Here comes Kenny Smith, a native of New York, being played by Derek Harper, got picked off. Drexler guarded at the start by Bonner. That will be a very difficult matchup for the Knicks. Here's Drexler for Smith. They work it down to 6 on the shot clock. Mario Elie, and rebounded by Smith.
Well, no surprise that Bonner is on him. I don't think Pat Riley has a lot of confidence in the fact that either Pat Riley or John Starks would be able to match up well with Drexler.
Patrick Ewing giving the Rockets a 2-0 lead. Big guards this season have been a very difficult matchup for the Knicks. They have been burned on a number of occasions. That pass intended for Chilcutt. Houston Rockets coming off the Friday night victory against the Bullets in Landover. Nice move by Ewing, who usually does not get going early against Olajuwon.
Well, that time he got caught with Drexler down low. Clyde knew he was in trouble, started to yell for help for his new teammate. Olajuwon got there way too late.
Nice pass from Drexler. And the Knicks now lead 4-2. On Friday night, the Rockets beat the Bullets 109-92, followed by a trip to the White House yesterday, where they were honored by President Clinton. And it's called Houston ball.
Well, one of the facets to the Rockets now will have the big guard who's actually playing small forward right now, Drexler, posting up. The Knicks will look to double-team him when he's close to the basket. No double here, but just a give-and-go cut with Pete Chilcutt.
Clyde Drexler, born and raised in Houston. He was a star at Sterling High School in Houston and then at the University of Houston. And Drexler has tied the game at 4. Clyde Drexler had a terrific game against the Knicks in Portland as a member of the Trailblazers earlier this season. The Knicks could not handle him. Ewing pops it out. Bonner, who will not shoot from the outside. Ewing, yes. So Patrick Ewing has opened up on fire. He has all 6 Knick points.
Even though the Knicks scored there with Patrick Ewing, Bonner is going to have to get in better position, cutting to the basket to take Drexler out of the play.
And a beautiful play defensively by Anthony Bonner, helping out and getting the tie-up.
Well, the Rockets want to come down and double team. Patrick is so effective when he takes the shot without putting the ball on the floor before the double team can get there.
Bonner and Olajuwon is controlled by the Rockets. Hubert Davis opening up against Clyde Drexler, who is looking for Hakeem Olajuwon, and the foul is called on Bonner.
Now, defensively for the Knicks against Olajuwon, they would prefer not to come down and double team on the catch. And you saw the fronting there by Patrick Ewing with pressure on the ball. This is the way the Knicks guarded Olajuwon in the playoffs last year, plus a lot of different faces on him. It was effective to some degree, but what the Knicks want to take away is the three-point capability of Houston.
And what we will probably see later on, you mentioned the switches defensively against Olajuwon. At times, the Knicks were effective with Anthony Mason, but that only, you get the idea, will last for a stretch of time.
Well, it's just to give Patrick Ewing a little bit of a breather, protect him from some fouls, and let Patrick play on the weak side. But Charles Smith will get a look at him as well, and Herb Williams.
The Knicks 6 and the Rockets Rockets 5. Smith with the double team gets it out. Drexler got a piece of it. Ewing getting the good position, and that won't count. Foul before the shot attempt.
It's going to be on Olajuwon for pushing Ewing. Patrick, this is a move that he has not been using that much. This was something the last couple of years he used quite a bit. That little runner off the wrong foot does not get credit for the basket, as Olajuwon with a little bump from the midsection.
Got him. Come on, baby. Harper got the stick. Derek Harper extends to an 8-5 lead. Olajuwon for Drexler for 3, and rebounded by Ewing. Lost it. Olajuwon. Harper with the save. Davis for 3. Gilbert Davis began the season having his difficulty shooting, as all the Knicks did. Not able to do it from the perimeter, but he has really come on in particular from the downtown area. Olajuwon called for steps, went for the head fake against Smith.
He faked right, went left, but did not establish a pivot foot. Referee Bob Delaney, the trail official, saw it, really didn't believe it. It was late in making the call, but it was an accurate one.
And as the Knicks have come out shooting well, they've hit on 5 of their first 6. Smith around Chilcott. Olajuwon with the rejection. So Akeem with the block shot. He is number 3 all-time in that department, behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Mark Eaton.
Well, Charles Smith getting a rare opportunity inside, but he'll get some in transition, but not taking it strong enough to draw the foul.
Ewing from deep. And rebounded by Chilcott. 4 minutes gone by, and the Knicks with an 11-5 lead. Olajuwon way off. Ewing to the fadeaway. And Drexler on the box out. Back in 1983, the Rockets could have drafted Clyde Drexler, but opted for Rodney McCray instead with the number 3 pick in the draft. McCray played 5 years for the Rockets and then was sent to Sacramento on a deal for Otis Thorpe. Now, ironically, Thorpe goes to Portland in the trade for Clyde Drexler. The Knicks 11 and the Rockets 5. Ewing, yes. No question about the attempt of the Knicks right at the start. Patrick Ewing has been going at Akeem Olajuwon. He's hit 4 of 6 to open it up. Timeout taken by Houston. Knicks 13, Rockets 5. Well, Charlie Ward, the center of attention the other night. As we discussed earlier, Pat Riley was not happy following the Friday night win over Miami, although he did not explain his rage with the Knicks up by as many as 25 points on Friday. Was Pat upset regarding perhaps Derek Harper urging the entrance of the rookie Charlie Ward? Was this the unprofessionalism that Riley was referring to? We talked about that with Derek Harper.
I hope not. You know, that was sincere in wanting Charlie to play. Charlie is a good friend of mine, and you know, I just want to see him get an opportunity to play, and I don't think it was unprofessional the way I do it. I've even fouled people for Steve Alford and different people to get into basketball games because I want to see people that don't get a chance to play as much get an opportunity.
Well, you could tell by Pat Riley's body language sitting on the bench that certainly was part of the problem.
They have also been upset about the sloppy play down the stretch. He went with the bench, and Miami was able to get him down to 7 points, and then the Knicks held on, but you have the idea that Pat did not want to put the starters back in. Bonner with the steal, and then Smith on the recovery. Smith for 3, line drives it, and rebounded by Bonner. 6.5 to go. First quarter, it's the Knicks with a 13-5 lead, and the Rockets have missed their last 5 field goal attempts. That was last touched by the Rockets.
Well, the other thing with that is there are so few joys in coaching. One of them is after you win a ball game for the first 5 or 10 minutes, you are happy. Pat Riley didn't even enjoy his 200th New York Knicks victory.
And I think you can relate to that. I think the despair after defeats is much more severe than those short periods of joy after victory. feel the same way after our broadcast, it should be pointed out. Houston has missed its last 6 shots. Beautiful crossover by Hubert Davis. Well, that's a move we have not seen.
Well, I think it's all set up by an earlier semi-fast break opportunity. Hubert pulled up and took the 3. I didn't think it was a particularly good shot then, but by making that, it set up that driving opportunity.
9-0 run by the Knicks. Man of defense from the crowd. Here's Elie getting the step. Going to the reverse and tipped home by Olajuwon. That's his first field goal. And the Knicks now lead 15-7. Getting back to Derek Harper's statement regarding committing fouls on purpose. He was talking about his days with the Dallas Mavericks in an effort to get Steve Alford into games in final minutes when it was garbage time. Smith on the tip. He might commit a foul to stop the clock to allow the substitution. That was obviously what he was referring to.
But that is not the same thing as getting involved with the crowd, and really not so much showing up Pat Riley. He can certainly deal with it. It's showing up Charlie Ward.
Beautiful backdoor lead pass. Kenny Smith finding Clyde Drexler, and for Clyde, his second field goal. The Knicks 17 and the Rockets 9. Here's Bonner going down the middle, rejected. Ewing on the recovery. Air ball handled by Bonner, and a foul is called. Elie picks up the personal.
Well, the Rockets just getting used to one another with Clyde Drexler starting to get a lot of minutes with a nice backdoor feed there to Clyde Drexler. Clyde hasn't even had a shoot-around, let alone a practice, and here we are analyzing this trade for the deep part of the playoffs, and they hardly know each other.
4:35 remaining in this first quarter. Davis for 3. Yes. Hubert Davis, who had a strong game against Miami on Friday. He was game high, hit 7 of 12, 21 points, 5 from downtown, has hit 2 3-pointers, and he leads the way with 8 points. The Knicks 20 and the Rockets 9. Olajuwon with the spin, not a good shot. Here comes Bonner. Leading Ewing, nice catch, couldn't convert. And Elie right back. Rockets push it down. Davis on the steal. Ewing for Bonner.
I think Patrick felt a little bit guilty that he was unable to handle that earlier fast break play on the last sequence, and then not getting back on defense. He didn't want to cherry pick.
Matt, we're very early, but a major difference here at the start between these two clubs as Drexler fires the 3. It appears the Knicks have come out ready, and the Rockets have not.
Well, maybe Pat's discussions, a little fire-up mentality of trying to get the troops ready has worked at least early, but it's a long game, and as we know, the Knicks have peaks and valleys.
But they rarely have come out with good first quarter. Drexler is fouled by Davis. That has been one of the concerns of Pat Riley, looking for more energy at the start of games. Well, he has received it here this afternoon.
And so far, the Rockets have looked sloppy here. Mario Elie, not even with his head up, the easy steal for Hubert Davis, and Pat Riley getting Anthony Bonner an easy one. The Rockets look tired to me, Marv. They played on Thursday and Friday night in Charlotte, in Washington. Of course, had the morning meeting with President Clinton yesterday. Got in late, mid-afternoon to late afternoon yesterday. Didn't really get a practice. They look sluggish.
And Hubert Davis hears it from the crowd, as does John Starks, who was a question mark for today's game because of the shoulder problem. He re-injured his shoulder Friday night of the game in Miami. Sam Cassell, one of the heroes of the Rockets' run to the NBA championship last season, has come on for the first time. Cassell for Kenny Smith. Ewing got the step. He thought he was fouled. Recovered by Harper, who's guarded by Cassell. 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Harper is tied up. Good play.
Patrick Ewing getting the ball inside, immediately double team down here, spins away from the double team, trying to go up strong, and he did get clipped by Pete Chilcutt.
Just under 3 to go in this first quarter. You're watching the NBA on NBC. Knick assistant trainer Tim Walsh working on the left shoulder of John Starks. Looks like it felt good. Magic elixir being applied. It's been a difficult 2 weeks for the Knicks and the Rockets. Vernon Maxwell going into the stands to chase down a fan. He has already served 3 games of the suspension. Rockets, as you see, blown out by the Clippers, and the Knicks certainly had their problems this week. The blowout at the hands of the Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills on Tuesday that led to Pat Riley smashing the chalkboard. And the hard statements following the game on Friday night against Miami. Drexler with a wild shot. Ewing with the rebound. Rockets are only 5 of 15 from the field. Harper going all the way. And the Knicks now lead 24-14.
And this is where the Houston Rockets have to be very careful. Olajuwon is out for a breather right now. Usually sits out about 4 or 5 minutes. A very small team right now. And missing Carl Herrera and Robert Ory. This is where it really hurts the Rockets.
That's a goaltend. The basket will count Chucky Brown, who checked in just a moment ago, getting credit. Brown has come on, as has the other new addition to the Rockets, Tracy Murray.
Well, this is what Chucky Brown does so well. Not a perimeter shooter by any means, but very active in and around the basket, gets to the offensive boards. He's on his second 10-day contract, doing a nice job for the Rockets, because offensive rebounding, they are the worst offensive rebounding team in the league. He may be able to make a spot for himself on this club.
Potter called for the foul on Brown, who is playing his 9th game with the Houston Rockets. Chucky Brown, a man who's been around, playing in the CBA, was a CBA All-Star, originally a second-round pick of Cleveland, played a couple of years with the Cavaliers, then on to the LA Lakers, Dallas Mavericks, and a loose ball foul against the Knicks. Or was it called deflected out? Apparently that was the call, and it will be Houston ball with just under 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Knicks have led by as many as 13. Here's Chilcutt. Yes. And the Rockets have cut it down to a 5-point lead. Pete Chilcutt, who really Tomjanovich told us last night has been a very pleasant surprise. Signed with the Rockets after spending some time in Europe. He had spent 3 years with the Sacramento Kings. Chilcutt is now guarding Ewing. Shot clock at 5. Bonner shooting. Rare outside shot for Anthony Bonner.
And it looked beautiful. A nice form, nice rotation, but he looks very uncomfortable out there. He would be better off cutting to the basket and hanging around the basket.
Brown on the follow. And the Knicks now lead 26-21. Knicks try to break, but the Rockets got back. Anthony Mason now up front, along with Patrick Ewing and Anthony Bonner. Derek Harper and John Starks in the backcourt. It's Harper for 3, and it's slapped out of bounds by the Rockets. Now, Greg Anthony will check in. Greg coming off a very strong game against the Heat on Friday night. Anthony with a season high of 19, replacing Derek Harper. Greg Anthony got off to a strong start, shot well, then seemed to fall out of favor, did not get the playing time, but he has handled it very well. Had an excellent game at Indiana right before the All-Star break, and then that season high the other night. Ewing keeping it alive.
Well, the last 2 shots by the Knicks, not very good, but Ewing does get the offensive rebound. Overwhelming advantage inside now for Patrick Ewing against Pete Chilcutt. Even though when he catches the ball, he will get double teamed, a good shot should result for somebody else.
Cassell hammering down the 3. The Knicks 28 and the Rockets 24, and the Rockets have settled down after the sloppy start. Here's Starks for 3. Yes. John Starks, who was able to erase the demons of the 2 of 18 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, at least in his head. Coming back strong in that first meeting at the Summit in Houston. But Hakeem Olajuwon makes the point as a Chilcutt fires that, hey, the 7-game series is over, John. They had a good game this season, but it's over. It was just 7. He said it seems like the Knicks want to make it a best of 9 or 10. Just continue the series.
Like on the playground, you keep going till you win.
Patrick Ewing. 12 points for Ewing. Oh, is it good? Sam Cassell at the buzzer. It will count.
Well, Sam Cassell bringing it up just on the other side of half court. Token pressure in there by Greg Anthony, and Marv, this one looked good all the way. Nothing but net.
Cassell from beyond midcourt. It's a 3-pointer to end the first quarter in dramatic fashion for the Rockets. The Knicks now lead by 6.
You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Well, as we discussed at the start of the telecast, Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing have been competing against each other at the highest level for a long time, going back to that NCAA championship game when Georgetown beat Houston. But in the NBA, Hakeem has had the advantage over the last 10 years. Ewing coming out very strong in the first quarter. This is Murray with his first shot attempt. Drexler gets it out. Hakeem is back on the floor, broken up by Starks.
Drexler getting an offensive rebound for Houston. They feel he's going to get about 6 or 7 rebounds a game from either the big guard or small forward position because he's so quick and active around the hoop.
And that has been a problem for this Rocket ball club. Drexler not able to convert. If the Rockets traded Otis Thorpe, their best offensive rebounder, but really comes down to the fields, as you mentioned, that's the category that Drexler will help out. And Mason off the mark, and Olajuwon is running to. Foul is called. Here's Mario Elie checking back in.
Well, I mentioned that the Rockets were going to have to be very careful while Olajuwon was getting his rest. They were more than that. They outscored the Knicks 13-11, aided by the Cassell three-pointer at the buzzer.
Hand check called on Anthony. A lot of shots by Patrick Ewing, though, in the first quarter. Took 13 in all, 6 for 13 from the field. Knicks 33 and the Rockets 27. Cassell with the step on Anthony, then rejected by Smith. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Smith, and Mason up front. Ewing drawing the double team. Anthony's been hitting the outside shot, not that time. And Elie comes up with it. Cassell working on Anthony. Olajuwon battling for position against Ewing. Olajuwon. And again, it's Smith off the board.
Patrick Ewing has had a couple of terrific defensive sequences against Olajuwon, making him take a much tougher shot than he would like.
Minute and a half gone by in this second quarter. Crowd now chanting for Herb Williams, who walks over to the scorer's table, and he will come on to spell Patrick Ewing. 12 points for Ewing. Herb Williams making it back from surgery on his left hand. He's played briefly the last couple of games. Herb Williams this season averaging close to 15 minutes per game. Got most of that playing time in the early going, with Ewing coming back from the arthroscopic knee surgery. Starks. John Starks with another 3.
A tough shot for John on the screen roll situation, going to his left. Those jumpers have to feel good for him. John has shown that he can play with pain.
Rebounded by Brown, and he's fouled. Chucky Brown in traffic, and he drew the foul.
Well, John going the wrong way out on the perimeter. He will normally shoot the jumper going well to his left from the right-hand side of the floor, coming off screens. That one a little bit outside his range, although the three-point shot is his. He has made more than any other player in the league, followed closely by Dan Marley.
John Starks admitting that 2 for 18 in the 7th game of the NBA Finals did have an adverse effect on him earlier this season, to the point where he finally went back and viewed the tape, as he put it, to erase all the memories. And he did that just prior to that earlier season meeting against the Rockets back in Houston. I remember talking to Pat Riley before that game in Houston, as you see Smith setting up and then getting it out to Mason. Anthony Mason in the open shot. Knicks lead 38-29. Riley said that he felt a surreal chill when he walked through the Summit tunnel for practice. He actually brought the Knicks to town earlier than usual. The Knicks rarely practice full scale on the road. That's a 3. Tracy Murray hits from downtown. Riley wanted to reacquaint the team with the Summit, perhaps confronting the ghosts, as he put it. Anthony shaking off Murray, and then foul. 9:22 to go in this second quarter. Knicks lead 38-32.
NBC is brought to you by Snickers, packed with peanuts, Snickers really satisfies. By Sea-Doo Watercraft. For fun on the water, everybody's doing it. Sea-Doo. And by the Gatorade Company. If you're not standing on the sideline, you're going to get thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
Well, Chucky Brown and Anthony Mason working around the backboards as Brown is going to get a box out here and inadvertently pops Anthony Mason right in the left eye as he's having trouble seeing, but nevertheless came down and hit a nice little jump shot.
Greg Anthony at the line as we resume. The Knicks with a 39-32 lead. Chucky Brown, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Tracy Murray on the front line for Houston. Sam Cassell and Mario Elie in the backcourt. Herb Williams trying to front Hakeem. Murray for three. Tracy Murray with his second from downtown. Last season led the NBA in three-point field goal shooting, 46% from long range, although he did not get the playing time with Portland. Averaged only about 12 minutes per game.
Well, he has a great-looking stroke. The rest of his game needs work, however.
Greg Anthony for three, and the Knicks now lead 42-35. Houston has been firing up three-pointers at a record pace. Twice they've tied a franchise record by hitting 12 in a game. They hit 8 three-pointers in one quarter against Miami as Elie drove the baseline, a blocking foul charge to Herb Williams.
Well, the Knicks continue to keep coming down the floor and shooting the ball from a perimeter while they have a big front court advantage in there with both Mason and Smith.
You can see Houston per game better than 19 three-point shots. In one game against Boston, they attempted an NBA record-tying 31 three-point field goals. Olajuwon has 5 points. Starks on the scoop, try to flip it home, and then a foul is called. Charles Smith called for his first.
Speaking of advantages, Olajuwon with an overwhelming advantage inside on Herb Williams. Gets Williams on the fronting situation. Mason comes over, but nothing he can do as Olajuwon just overpowers him to the basket. The Knicks have some success with that front and will force some turnovers with it, but when you get beat on that pass over the top, you're almost dead.
And checking call again against Anthony. That brings Pat Riley to his feet. Did not like the call, and Sam Cassell will go to the line. Second foul committed by Anthony. Sam Cassell, a college teammate of Charlie Ward at Florida State. Following a terrific run of the playoffs, there's Charlie, who hit some key free throws the other night against Miami. And another Florida State man, dressed in the low-key attire, it was Deion Sanders. Sam Cassell got off to a slow start this season. He said it was more mental than physical, but he has come on in recent weeks. Smith working against Brown. Shot clock at 7. Williams. Rebound Mason. Anthony for three. And the Knicks now lead 45-38.
The Knicks going to the mismatch with Charles Smith on Chucky Brown. They also have on with Mason on Tracy Murray, and he gets the offensive rebound to give the Knicks another opportunity. And this is the way that you get a lot of open three-point shots. All the defense sags in when the shot goes up. If you get an offensive board, the shooters spread out, spot up beyond the line, you get a good look.
Illegal defense called for the first time against the Knicks. Knicks have hit 6 of 9 from downtown. Olajuwon on the fadeaway. Mason with the box out. Anthony Mason, who handles the ball so well, flipping it up and in.
Thought he got fouled on the play. Does handle the ball on the break so well and uses that right hand around the basket beautifully.
The Knicks 47 and the Rockets 38. 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Murray for three. Starks helping out, tipped it to Mason. Anthony and Elie coming together, and a foul is called. Charge to Elie.
Well, Mason loves to take that defensive rebound and push it up the floor. It does create some good running opportunities for the Knicks. Here, he creates one for himself.
Among those on hand in the sellout crowd at Madison Square Garden, Bill Murray, Michael Bolton, Kevin Nealon of Saturday Night Live, Charlie Rose of PBS, and Woody and Soon Yi, and Deion Sanders of Saturday Night Live, who is not greeted in favorable fashion by this New York crowd. Deion handling the chores on Saturday Night Live last night. Greg Anthony rejected by Akeem Olajuwon.
Well, the Knicks are doing the three things they have to control the Houston Rockets. Controlling the backboards, getting back on defense to cut down the running game of Houston, and keeping Olajuwon in check.
Patrick Ewing has sat out the last 4 minutes. Took 13 shots in the first quarter. Did get off to a good start against Olajuwon. Starks for three. Air ball. John Starks, prior to that miss from three-point land, had hit 5 of 5 from downtown this season against Houston, going back to that earlier matchup. Remember the 0 for 11 from three-point land in Game 7 of the finals last season. An unusual shot for Olajuwon, the driving hook from deep, and he's upset. He thought he was fouled. Foul is called instead on Chucky Brown of the Rockets. And here comes Patrick Ewing, returning, replacing Herb Williams.
And even though that looked like an awkward shot by Olajuwon, I'm sure Pat Riley not upset with the defense by the Knicks there. Even though they don't want to come down and double team Akeem on the catch, they do want to come down and try to dig it out when he puts it on the floor in the lane as he was.
Akeem only 2 of 10 from the field. 6 minutes left, first half. And a foul against the Rockets. Chucky Brown is called for a second. Chucky Brown in his 5th year in the NBA out of North Carolina State. And now Clyde Drexler returns, replacing Mario Elie. Clyde Drexler, it is only his 3rd game as a member of the Rockets. Smith taking it down deep and beating the double team. Charles Smith with a strong start. 5 rebounds, block shot. Certainly does not miss the fact that Otis Thorpe is no longer in the Houston uniform. Cassell, nice move by Cassell. And the Rockets are also hurt by the fact that Robert Horry and Carl Herrera are on the injured list. Herrera has been very effective against the Knicks. Out with a sprained hamstring, Horry with a sprained back muscle. Anthony going to the basket is fouled. Horry picks up his 2nd.
Greg Anthony taking Cassell off the dribble, but Tracy Murray coming in there to try to get a piece of the shot, gets more a piece of the body. Marv, I'm one of those that thinks that this trade will help the Rockets the rest of the regular season, especially when Herrera and Horry get back. They'll be able to make do as far as the inside play and the rebounding. I think where it can really hurt them come playoff team when they have to go in a series against the Kemps, the Malones, the Barkleys, and so on.
Otis Thorpe, also a very popular player with his teammates, so there were reservations expressed about the trade by many of the players, but that is not the barometer.
Especially the ones whose minutes are going to be affected. Mario Elie and wait till Vernon Maxwell gets back.
Olajuwon on the follow. And a foul is called, and Akeem upset again. Felt it was a late call. But he'll go to the line. Ewing picks up the foul, his first.
Patrick fronting Olajuwon once again. Mason coming over. They felt that they had Akeem pinned underneath the backboard too far, but the athletic ability and leaping ability and strength of Olajuwon able to push his way back into the play and draw the foul.
Akeem is 2 of 3 at the line. last year's most valuable player during the regular season, MVP of the NBA Finals, Defensive Player of the Year, 10-time All-Star, and having another terrific campaign. Hakeem Olajuwon. He's cut it to an 8-point Knick lead with 5 minutes left in the half. Chilcott able to deflect it away.
The Knicks continuing to go to that matchup. Now it's Charles Smith against the bigger Chilcott, but they're still going to it because generally they've gotten a good shot.
And last touch by Murray. Good play by Starks to get a piece of it.
One of the things the Knicks are going to have to improve on as this second half of the season wears on, when they go into the post, whether it's Ewing, Mason, Smith, or whoever, they have to get a cutter, a diver to the basket, get some kind of movement, which will make the defense react, and then they'll get good looks on the perimeter.
Harper and Starks now in the backcourt. That is deflected out by Drexler. It's Ewing with Smith and Mason up front.
And the Knicks can get away with posting people like Smith and Mason because you have Patrick Ewing on the floor who shoots the ball so well from the perimeter. Not too many centers. They don't know what to do. Cover the basket or Ewing.
It was Ewing from the perimeter, but just got a piece of the glass, and that was it. Here's Murray for 3 again. Tracy Murray from downtown with his third three-pointer. He is 9, and the Knicks now lead 50 to 45. So Tracy Murray on fire. Smith with the ball fake. Good post-up move by Charles Smith. The Knicks lead 52 to 45. This is a Houston Rocket team that began the season winning their first 9, lost 3 in a row, then 5 of 7, and then they were able to settle down. Remember last year in the championship season, they opened up 15-0 to equal the 1948-49 Washington Capitals NBA record. Ewing again from the outside. That was the Hakeem scream-in-your-face defense. But it did not obviously bother Patrick Ewing.
Well, Hakeem so conscious of protecting the basket. John Starks on that half penetration found Patrick wide open. Ewing battling inside with Olajuwon, and just poor hands, unusual for Hakeem not to pick up the loose ball. The Knicks don't get a fast break out of it, but that little half penetration by Starks and a little draw and kick gets Ewing the wide open shot.
Header for Scottie Pippen and the 3-time world champion Bulls enter the Magic Kingdom for a showdown with Shaq, former teammate Horace Grant, and the Magic. Then Grandmama. So when the Charlotte Hornets take on Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns, or the Jazz face the Nuggets, next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern on NBC.
Here's what's ahead on the Prudential Halftime Report. We'll hear from Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz. He'll talk about the improvements his team has made. Utah is sitting atop the Midwest Division, and he'll have some strong comments about some of the league's younger players. Plus, we'll get additional comments on the first half of the Knicks and the Rockets from Julius Erving and Bill Walton. The Knicks lead it by 9, and so we send it back to the Garden and Marv Albert and Matt Gukas. Marvelous.
And overall, the Knicks have lost 7 of the last 10 regular season games against the Rockets. They won the earlier game in Houston. The Knicks had lost their previous 5 during the regular season at the Summit in Houston. It has been a 3-point barrage in this first half. Houston 6 of 12 from downtown. The Knicks 6 of 10. Here's Murray to the drive. Smith got a piece of it. And the whistle by Dan Crawford. Houston foul on Olajuwon. That is his second.
Well, we said so little about Tracy Murray, who was part of that trade. He's already got 3 3-pointers in the game. This is one of the areas that he's going to have to improve on. Putting the ball on the floor, taking it to the basket, and there he challenges Patrick Ewing after the whistle, and his defense needs lots of work.
Ewing to the line for the first time.
It was interesting. The Rockets came out of that timeout running a play, taking it out of the Portland playbook, running the post up for Drexler, but took that forced way out on the floor by Anthony Mason. So the Knicks very much prepared for what the Rockets want to do with Clyde Drexler.
And Ewing misses on both. Rudy Tomjanovich now going with Olajuwon, Chilcutt, and Murray up front. Cassell at the point, Drexler at the big guard, and being guarded by Starks. And a foul is called. It is a hand check. On Starks. That is his first.
John looks a little confused, and rightly so. Actually, that was called after the pass was made by Clyde Drexler. There was so much last year in the finals made of Derek Harper hand-checking Kenny Smith. And really, it was a case of Kenny Smith not taking the ball hard at Derek Harper and trying to drive by him. He would just try to get the ball up the floor, move it east to west. And so much was made of that. That's not why we now have the more emphasis on hand-checking.
Derek Harper with the magnificent run in the NBA Finals against Houston last season. He was the Knicks' most valuable player in that series. The Knicks 54 and the Rockets 47. The Rockets have hit 11 of 13 at the foul line here in this first half. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the half. Harper again saw the opening. Olajuwon got a piece of it. Here's Cassell leading a 3-on-2. The Knicks do hustle back. Cassell able to finish it off. Nice move by Sam Cassell, who's come off the bench to hit for 11. And he's brought the Rockets within 5.
Anytime you run that high pick and roll and there's penetration or shot from a corner and it does not go in, generally the opponent will get a fast break opportunity.
3 seconds. 3-second violation against the Knicks. Well, the Rockets got off to a slow start. The Knicks came out with a burst. The Rockets able to settle down, and they are now within 5. In one stretch, the Knicks led 22-9. Cassell for 3, and a foul is called. It's on Harper, so that will mean 3 shots for Cassell, who was fouled in the act attempting from downtown.
Not a good foul by Derek Harper, despite the fact that Sam Cassell has already hit 2 3-pointers. He's only shooting 30% on the year. You never want to foul a man that far in the basket, or any jump shot for that matter. Your job defensively, just go straight up and challenge the shot. That's all.
Cassell is an excellent free throw shooter, 88% for the season. But 1 for 3 here this afternoon.
And the Rockets taking John Starks off the hook a little bit here by not continuing to post up Clyde Drexler.
Well, apparently they said it was a 2-point shot that Cassell had the foot on the line, so he was given 2 free throws.
Still a bad foul.
The Knicks lead is now 3. Starks got the step. Offensive foul. John Starks on the drive, and Charles Smith trying to clear out, called for the foul.
And he moved over way too late, as Starks already had Clyde Drexler beat. You can't move in that situation, and he really rung Clyde Drexler's bell.
Rockets in possession, trailing by only 3. And Drexler lost it.
Again, this is going to take some time for the Rockets to get used to what Clyde Drexler could do. Actually, in the early part of the game, with the bigger, stronger Bonner on him, he was trying to post up. Now he's got the smaller John Starks, and he's trying to play on the perimeter.
Harper. Yes. That's a 2-pointer, have the foot on the line. And the Knicks now lead 56-53. Harper has 6 points. High man for the Knicks. Ewing with 14. 12 for Cassell. 11 for Drexler. Illegal defense called for the second time against the Knicks. You see the reaction from Pat Riley, but that is a technical foul to be awarded, and Sam Cassell will take the shot.
Pat Riley livid at referee Bob Delaney, feeling that Anthony Mason was legal on the play. But the officials have called that throughout this year at the Competition and Rules Committee meeting out at the All-Star game. The consensus was that everybody likes the rules the way they're going. Give it more time, and then they'll address it in the offseason.
Sam Cassell now 2 out of 5 at the free throw line. Murray for 3. Looked like Smith got a piece of it. Just under 1 minute remaining in the first half. Here's Smith. Charles Smith taking advantage with the post-up move, and fouled by Murray. Murray called for his third.
Patrick Ewing continues to do an outstanding defensive job on Olajuwon inside by fronting him, and the only way you can get away with that tactic is if you have good pressure on the ball out on the perimeter. And when the Knicks have been able to push the ball up the floor, Charles Smith working very hard to try to catch the ball with 2 feet in the paint where no double team will be able to get there, and he has an overwhelming advantage against Tracy Murray.
Charles Smith, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocked shots. The Knicks now lead by 6. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Bob Costas coming up at halftime back at our studios. Shot clock at 7. Olajuwon. And the Knicks now lead 57 to 53. 9 points for Hakeem. 3 of 12 from the field, and the Knicks looking to hold for a final shot. The Knicks lead by 4, down to 15 seconds. Ewing from Mason. Patrick Ewing, who has improved with his passing, right on target with Anthony Mason. Final seconds of the half. Olajuwon with 3 seconds, yes. And the Knicks now lead 59 to 55. Harper getting down court, gets it away. So that is the end of the first half here at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks 59 and the Houston Rockets 55. Ewing with 14, Cassell with 13, the high point men in this half. Coming up, the Prudential halftime report with Bob right after these messages.
In the preseason, my back hurts. My arms hurt. My legs hurt. My brain hurts. Even my teeth hurt. But come the regular season, it's all worthwhile. Because I get to hurt right back.
This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Halftime at the Garden, Knicks lead the Rockets 59-55, led by as many as 13 at one point, settle for a 4-point lead at the half. Uncommonly high-scoring game for the Knicks in particular, and for these two teams in general. The last time they met in Houston, when the Knicks won, the Rockets only scored in the 70s. They're both on a pace to top 100. A thought on the first half, Bill?
The Rockets playing very good basketball, even though they're behind. The Knicks get off to a good start. Ewing, a huge opening quarter, unlikely and uncharacteristic there. But you got a situation now where the Rockets, with their new explosive offensive style, are right there. Hakeem looks to be a little fatigued. Maybe the lack of food is a reason there. And the three-point shooters, they got to pump fake there and get inside that extended New York defense.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of pressure on the Rockets to try and go and win this game at all costs. They're in a period of adjustment. They're trying to adjust to Maxwell being suspended, Thorpe being traded, trying to work Drexler and Murray into the lineup. Plus, they have a couple of other new starters in Chilcutt and Elie, who are now starting. So they're putting on a pretty good show, considering they're in transition.
For those of you just joining us, when Bill makes reference to the lack of food, this is the Muslim holy period of Ramadan, and so Hakeem Olajuwon, who is deeply religious, cannot eat or drink during daylight hours. He had breakfast at 5:30 this morning, can't have so much as a cup of water or Gatorade during the game, and he shot 4 of 13, 11.6 rebounds in the first half. When we come back, my conversation with Utah's Karl Malone after a message from Prudential and a word from the NBA. The league's third best record behind Orlando and Phoenix, a surprise to many and a pleasant surprise to Karl Malone, still the league's best power forward at the age of 31. I had a chance to speak with Karl at the All-Star game.
You just see 500 ball for the rest of the season looming in front of you. Is that what's depressing?
Well, actually, with what's happening now, I see it the rest of my career, and that's what I don't like.
Malone said if they won a championship, he would retire. That's not going to happen, but he also needs some things to be worked out with Utah management.
In the past, you've been outspoken about your hope, almost your demand, that the team improve itself. Now they've gone out, they've gotten Jeff Hornacek, they signed Antoine Carr as a free agent. Are you satisfied that management made the full commitment to give you guys a chance to win?
Oh, and they bought
Blue Edwards back. And that's something the Jazz have never did in their organization, is bring a guy back that they've traded. Never. So that right there lets you know that they are trying. And our team that we have right now, I love our team. Every guy that step on the court now want to win. In the past, you could probably look at 7, 8 guys that wanted to win, and the other 4 or 5 didn't care. And the most important thing about our team right now, we don't have any cliques.
You got to stop taking my post.
And to me, as a veteran player, playing a lot of minutes, that's the most important part, the reason I love to play again. Because I had lost that for a little while. I had lost that desire to go out and play because it was a job. It was getting to be a job to me. Now it's fun again.
Did you think for a while that you might not end your career with the Jazz?
Oh, absolutely. I think that I had the best opportunity in the world to probably go somewhere else after everything that happened last year. But after I sit down with the owner and some of my teammates, of course Stockton, I realized that's where I want to be at. And I guarantee I will end my career in Utah, and that's the only way I'd rather for it to be. But my main goal right now is I only have one. That's to win the whole thing, and I want to win it right there where I'm at.
Carl, you were one of the very first veteran guys who said, hey, wait a minute, something's out of whack here. The rookies are getting a disproportionate amount of the money. And now it looks like a rookie salary cap is coming. You happy about that?
Well, you know, Bob, you can be happy about it one or two ways. One is it's a matter of coming in and proving yourself. Sure, I think the college level put you in a position where you get X amount of dollars or something like that, but a rookie salary cap have to be there. Not only that, though, but I think rookie salary cap can save some franchises, too, because how many franchises put X number of dollars into somebody that don't pan out like they want to? So I think it's both ways there.
You offered some criticism a while back of Derek Coleman. You said, look, this guy's on the verge of throwing his career away. Is there something going on in the NBA? I don't even mean to suggest it's a majority of guys, but enough guys to get your attention where you say, hold on, we got too good of a thing going here, and these guys better pay attention to the fundamental values that built it.
I look at a guy like Derek Coleman. With the talent he has, I think he's the most talented power forward to ever play the game, for everything he can do. And it's going to take him looking in the mirror and say, hey, I don't want to be like everybody writing about. It's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So this is a monster that the NBA created, and it's a monster that they got to go out and they got to change it themselves. Because you know what? I'm afraid what the league going to be like when a lot of these veteran players retire. What if 4 key veteran players retired in 1 year? You know, it hurt when Magic, Larry, and Michael retired. Now, what if you get 4 or 5 more of these veteran guys to retire? Would you pay to see a game? Of course you wouldn't, because you could just flash your badge. But I'm just saying, if you got a majority of guys in a room, I guarantee you, if they're true fathers, so to speak, and wasn't a big fan, just a father, I guarantee you they wouldn't, because you don't want to see all that. You don't want to see all that dunking on somebody, getting in their face, yelling. And that's why you got to look at some of these veteran guys like Dr. J, and you got to say to yourself, I wonder what he's thinking about the way I am as a player. He didn't have to play like that to get his name like that. Magic didn't, you know, on and on. And that's what it's about. I respected those guys that played the game, and I still respect them to this day. But you got guys now that don't respect anything but what they get, and that's unfortunate for this game.
Well, in connection with the last comment Malone made, here is a quote from early this season issued by Pat Riley. The nature of the NBA is a self-centered, greed-oriented, defiant attitude. It's running rampant, and it's going to bring down the league one day. Now, all these situations have some differences, but you take a look. Chuck Daly leaving early. Magic Johnson, brief stint with the Lakers, leaves and says he's disgusted, can't relate to these guys. Dan Issel, mid-season after such success, out he goes. Don Nelson's situation was complicated, but a combination of factors that have something to do with what Malone was talking about helped to end his career at Golden State early. Malone wondered what Dr. J would think. What does Dr. J think?
Well, I think Pat Riley's been paying attention to the savings and loan industry. And Karl Malone really knows what time it is. At 31, he's at an age where you really know how to play the game. He is the best power forward in the game. He's led his team in scoring less 20 times, and he's got the type of franchise around him that he wants that's tailor-made for his skills. And in terms of addressing the young players, you know, the young players in this league are keepers of something that is very precious and very valuable. And one of their goals should be to leave it in better shape than it was before they got here. And that's not happening right now, so it's something they need to think about.
Far too much, though, is being given to these immature players who are playing on bottom-of-the-league teams. the history of the NBA, the greatness of this league has always been the top stars on the winning teams. Those guys you don't have any problems with. There's a direct correlation between their attitude and their last place position in the standings.
And there is a direct correlation between how many commercials we run and the revenue we collect. And so, it's halftime at the Garden. The Knicks leading the Rockets by 4. We'll send it back to Marv and Matt. But first, these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock. This is the Game of the Week on NBC.
Back at the Garden, the Houston Rockets making their way back onto the court. The Knicks with a 4-point lead at halftime. Marv Albert, Matt Guokas, and Ahmad Rashad. Back at Madison Square Garden, the Knicks got off to the fast start. They led 22-9, but the Rockets able to turn it around and get back into it.
Well, they stayed in the game on the free throw line, outscoring the Knicks 13-3. Pat Riley can't be happy with the Knicks' pace of the game, even though they're leading by 4. 59 points is not the Knicks type of game.
All right, right here, let's take a look at the Miller Lite halftime stats. The field goal shooting, Rockets only 44%. The Knicks have had the hot hand, 25 of 48, 52%. A lot of shots for Patrick Ewing, 13 of those 15 attempts in the first quarter, 7 of 15 for 14 points. And both clubs firing them up from three-point range. Rockets 6 of 13 and the Knicks 6 for 10. Sam Cassell with a strong effort off the bench, 13 points in all, including 2 from downtown. Houston head coach Rudy Tomjanovich is with Ahmad Rashad. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. Rudy, you had to be concerned at the start of the game, maybe with your team's intensity.
Well, defensive intensity, yes. They got too many fast breaks, and they shot the three-pointer real well. We want to try to get them in the half-court game, grind it out, and then be more patient on offense.
I understand. Defensively, they were fronting Akeem the first half. Any adjustments to that?
Yeah, well, we have an automatic adjustment, and we didn't get into it.
All right, you'll get into it, I guess, in the second half.
Yeah, we will.
All right, good luck to you in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Marv.
Oh, Marv with a little coaching tip for Rudy T. We'll be back with the second half in a moment. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
This is how we work.
A look from up above here at Madison Square Garden as John Starks, in deep thought, gets ready for the second half.
John hoping he can get back into the starting lineup. He did play 15 minutes in the second half to Hubert Davis's 11, and Hubert played very well.
Starks, question mark for today, bothered by that partial dislocation of the left shoulder. Sat out the previous game against the Miami Heat on Friday night. And we're just about set for the start of play. In the third quarter, the high point man of the game, Patrick Ewing, with 14. He is the only Knick in double figures. Sam Cassell leading the Rockets with 13, 11 apiece for Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. Drexler playing only his third game as a Rocket. Smith with a deflection. It's been a very strong game defensively for Charles Smith. The Knicks by 4 as we open up in the third quarter. Bonner lost it. Elie able to get it to Drexler. And Drexler for Chilcott. Beautiful return for Olajuwon. And the Rockets are within 2.
Well, that's what Clyde Drexler can do for you. Just push the ball down the floor, create some openings, and Olajuwon on the trail as the seas opened up. Beautiful feed by Chilcott.
The Knicks open up with Harper and Davis in the backcourt. They double up on Ewing. He's up front with Bonner and Smith. Shot clock at 5. Bonner took the bump. It counts. And the foul. Foul committed by Clyde Drexler.
Well, this is where Anthony Bonner can really help the Knicks. He's not going to make a lot of shots from the perimeter, but keep himself around the basket, slashing to the basket there as the Rockets were coming out of a double team, that opening in the middle, and Drexler out of position and off balance. The bump on Anthony Bonner, who took 5 stitches in that game the other night.
That's Anthony Bonner landing on his chin. but was able to bounce back, did make his return to the game. 7 points for Bonner, and the Knicks now lead 62-57. Both the Knicks and the Rockets come in with records of 32 and 17. Drexler, yes, and it counts. A foul committed by Bonner.
Well, this is the way the game started out, with Drexler posting up the strong Anthony Bonner, but the difference here is the pass. Pete Chilcutt got good position to make the pass to Drexler. In the second quarter, when John Starks was on Drexler, Anthony Mason did not let the passer get the ball in good position. He broke up the timing on the play.
So Drexler answers Bonner with a three-point play. Bonner was called for that foul, his third, and the Knicks lead is 2. A minute 20 gone by in this third quarter. Ewing. 16 for Patrick Ewing. The Knicks 64 and the Rockets 60. Olajuwon goes to the third option. Bonner with the rebound.
He makes so many moves with the basketball. I think he's got the guy faked out on the first one. He doesn't realize it. He almost lets the defender back in the play.
Harper for 3. Smith able to cover the rebound. And the Knicks get a new 24. Nice ball movement on the sequence, and Ewing draws the foul.
The Knicks have really improved on this part of their game in this particular season. The ball going inside to Patrick Ewing. Here is on the little jump hook, as he got good position in the paint. No way a double team can help out. And here, once again, backing up on the second pass inside, as Olajuwon gets backed out of the play, and Ewing able to draw the foul. It's that inside, outside, and back in again where the centers are really getting better position, because the double team now has left, and it's more of a one-on-one situation for the center.
Ewing 0 for 3 at the line. He's a 74% free throw shooter. And the Knicks have struggled at the line. 5 of 11 from the free throw line. They lead now by 5 points. Kenny Smith finds Drexler in the backcourt. Chilcutt, Hakeem Olajuwon, Mario Elie for a nice pass. Pretty give and go between Elie and Chilcutt. And the Knicks now lead 65-62. 6 points for Chilcutt. Now Smith trying to post. Going at Chilcutt. Davis. He thought he was fouled. Elie has a 3-on-1. Finding Drexler. And the Knicks lead us now 1.
Well, Derek Harper a little bit late getting back there as he started to drip on the penetration by Hubert Davis. And even though Hubert Davis couldn't stop that play defensively, did an outstanding job of hustling back, trying to make the defensive play.
Drexler has 16. Harper. Derek Harper not hitting the outside shot. Nice save.
Patrick was going to shoot that ball. He thought that maybe the 24-second clock was winding down. He saw the fresh clock and passed it back out to Harper.
Now Bonner working inside. And Chilcutt with the rebound. The Knicks have led all the way. Rockets with a chance to take the lead for the first time. Olajuwon off a double team. And the foul is called. It's on Ewing. That is his second. And it is a non-shooting foul before the shot attempt.
In most situations, especially in the first half, Patrick Ewing has been able to get around and front and keep that direct pass from coming in Olajuwon. That time, Hakeem just got good position and held Ewing on his back.
Chant of defense from the crowd. Drexler setting it up against Bonner. The Knicks able to sweep to the boards. 3 Knicks going to the boards. Davis in traffic gets it to Ewing. And last touch by the Rockets. The Knicks have missed their last 5 shots.
Good effort that time by Anthony Bonner to get in and try to get that offensive rebound, forced Kenny Smith to knock it out. Hubert Davis has been extremely aggressive, looking for a shot, and when they get up on him, driving the ball hard to the basket.
This is a Knicks team that has won 2 straight, a home-and-home sweep of Miami. They have won 12 of the last 16. Ewing with 19 points, and the Knicks now lead by 3. The Rockets have won 3 in a row. Wins over Washington, Charlotte, the LA Clippers, and they've won 8 of their last 10 games. Oh, what a spin by Olajuwon. Yes, Akeem Olajuwon with a gorgeous move, and it cuts it to a 1-point Knick lead, 15 for Akeem. Smith with 9 points, along with 7 rebounds and 2 blocked shots. Knicks 69, Rockets 66, and both Olajuwon and Ewing go down. And the call against Ewing.
Both teams executing much better at the start of this third quarter. Here, Patrick Ewing very aggressively overpowering Olajuwon inside. Patrick looks much stronger in this ball game than Akeem, but watch this great escape dribble on the fadeaway by Akeem Olajuwon. If Akeem can't beat him with strength, he'll beat him with quickness, as the Houston Rocket bench appreciates it tremendously.
3 fouls apiece on Olajuwon and Ewing. Chilcott for 3. And a loose ball foul on Smith, who reacts to the call. That's 3 on Smith. Timeout is being taken. 6:55 to go in the third. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
On NBC is brought to you by Red Wolf Lager. Really red, really smooth. Follow your instincts. By Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
A reminder coming up next, the conclusion of the Bob Hope Drexler Classic. That is next right here on NBC Sports. 6:55 remaining. Third quarter, Madison Square Garden in New York. The Knicks with a 69-66 advantage over the Rockets. Mario Elie handles against Hubert Davis. Chilcott able to get it cross court. The lead for Olajuwon from Cassell. He's triple teamed, gets it out. Elie, yes. Put on the line, it's a 2-pointer. Mario Elie brings the Rockets within 1. For Elie, that is his first field goal. Mario Elie, every time he comes to New York, has all kinds of ticket problems. A product of New York State. Anthony Mason with his 4th bucket. He has 8 points. He's hit 4 of 4, and the Knicks lead is 3.
That's that slashing, cutting move that I'm talking about, Marv, when Ewing gets double teamed. 5th assist for Patrick Ewing in this ballgame.
And Akeem Olajuwon has turned it. He's hit 4 of his last 5 after the slow start. Elie feeling it, hits the 3, and he has tied the game at 71. Mario Elie, who played at Power Memorial High School here in New York, in fact played a year with Chris Mullen at Power Memorial. Strong move by Smith, and the Knicks with a 73-71 lead. Kenny Smith for Akeem Olajuwon, now being guarded by Anthony Mason, and has no trouble shooting over the shorter Mason.
Well, Pat Riley made that little change coming out of that last time, mainly because the Rockets have gone to more screen role plays where the Knicks trap, and then eventually Ewing will wind up with them in the sequence.
He does not want Patrick Ewing to pick up a 4th foul. Chilcott for Drexler, and the Rockets take the lead for the first time today. Nice pass from Pete Chilcott. The Rockets 75 and the Knicks 73.
Rockets doing a terrific job of mixing it up, looking for the running opportunity, and Drexler can create it. Otherwise, executing in the half court very well.
We're just under 5 minutes remaining in the third, and a reach-in foul, and that is number 4 on Olajuwon.
Akeem Olajuwon went inside as Mason is on him. The Rockets recognize it. No double team can get down there quickly enough. The little spin away jump shot by Olajuwon, and then Drexler with his head up, an excellent passer in fast break situations, finds Chilcott.
13 foul on the Rockets. Knicks have 4. Ewing with the drop step, and the game is tied at 75. 21 points for Patrick Ewing. Rudy T. calling for a 20-second timeout. And now they've changed to a full timeout with 4:38 remaining in the third. The game even at 75.
Basketball returns to NBC when the Golden Eagles of Marquette take to the court against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame next Saturday on NBC.
It has been a strong all-around game for Clyde Drexler. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, one of the 4 right there on that feed. We talked with Clyde Drexler about how he sees his role as a member of the Rockets.
It's a little bit different because I may not have to score 20, 25 points a night, which is great. I think Hakeem he draws so much attention. I think everyone else kind of plays off of that, which gives you a lot more options. And for me, I can concentrate more on defense, rebounding, passing, doing some of the other things that make the game a whole lot of fun.
And that is exactly what he has done here this afternoon. Game is tied at 75. Drexler getting to the loose ball, but it's deflected out. The hustle by the combination of Drexler and Chilcutt, appreciated by Rudy Tomjanovich, but the Knicks will take over.
And Marv, we've already seen more pretty plays, in particular on the part of the Rockets, than we did in the 7-game series last June. As Clyde Drexler talking about being able to do the other things to help his ball club win, not just go out there and score 23 to 28 a game.
Starks and Harper now in the backcourt. Ewing, Mason, Smith up front, and Ewing was fouled. Foul called on Chilcutt. Pete Chilcutt, who comes off a season-high 18-point game, almost 14 rebounds Friday night against the Bullets. Chilcutt committing his first foul, and it sends Ewing to the line.
Rudy T. taking that last time out, wanted to make sure he got Hakeem Olajuwon out of the game, who now has 4 fouls. He sensed that Hakeem needed his little breather anyway, but sensed that the Knicks were going to force-feed the ball to work at Hakeem to try to get that 5th one. So he's going to try to buy some minutes for Olajuwon here.
And Hakeem turning it around after the slow start. Ewing with 3 fouls. The Knicks 77, the Rockets 75. For the Knicks, it's game 2 of a 5-game homestand. The Rockets will return home for a big ball game against San Antonio on Tuesday night. They have a 4-game homestand ahead at the Summit. San Antonio, then Detroit, Golden State, Cleveland. Mason broke it up. Starks on the run. Mason pushes to Ewing. And the foul. Pretty feed by Anthony Mason. Chucky Brown picks up the foul, his 3rd.
Anthony Mason doing a lot of terrific things, some of which show up in the box score, some of them don't. This one he'll get nothing for, but a nice feed to reward the hustling Patrick Ewing cutting down the lane. No assist there, but Patrick Ewing getting to the line as the Knicks will continue to go inside with Pete Chilcutt trying to guard Patrick Ewing. The double team will come. It'll just matter how well Patrick passes out of the double.
And Patrick Ewing with very impressive numbers. Named the NBA Player of the Month for January. He has elevated his game. Among the leaders, as you saw, in rebounding. Kemby Mutombo of Denver, number 1 in that department. Knicks now lead by 4. 3:20 left in the third. Elie, Ewing with the rebound. Knicks want to run. They will run selectively. Sparks off the mark in that 3-point attempt, and it went over the glass, so the ball awarded to the Rockets.
We're talking about the rebounding of Patrick Ewing, 11.5 a game, really elevating up there. Ever since 25 games ago when Charles Oakley opted for the toe surgery, it has been more opportunities for Patrick to rebound, and he's taken advantage of it.
And still no definitive word as to when Oakley will return, recovering from that toe surgery. Harper pushing it down. Mason behind the back. Oh!
Beautiful play by Anthony Mason, seeing the whole floor in front of him, and the nifty little behind-the-back pass to the trailing Charles Smith.
The Knicks 81 and the Rockets 75. Last touch by the Knicks. And here comes Akeem making his return.
This fast break started on a challenge shot by Patrick Ewing. Everybody taking off, and maybe next to Derek Harper, or maybe as good as Derek Harper, Anthony Mason in the middle on the fast break has that knack of making the play.
Well, the Knicks reeled off 6 unanswered points. When Akeem sat down, he's back on the floor now. 2.5 remaining in the third, and the Knicks lead by 6. Olajuwon again guarded by Mason. Yes, and it counts.
Well, Rudy C could only buy a couple of minutes for Akeem Olajuwon with those 4 fouls, but this is what a lot of people are talking about. As this season wears on, it's going to be very hard, especially until they get Herrera and Ori back, because Akeem Olajuwon is going to have to play a lot of minutes. Nothing Mason can do here except try to push Olajuwon out as far as possible. Even at that, Olajuwon still can shoot over him.
And with the feeling that the Rockets come up short of the rebounding department with the departure of Otis Thorpe, and with Ori and some illegal defense, and with Ori and Herrera on the injured list, there was a trade rumor that made the rounds here on the East yesterday. In fact, one of the local papers actually had quotes from Jason Williams of the New Jersey Nets saying that he was delighted to go to the Rockets because the projected trade was Vernon Maxwell for Jason Williams. That's over, and the Knicks now lead 83-77, but the Rockets say there is nothing to it. In fact, they say that trade would be impossible to pull off. Although it was a pretty fair story that the Rockets had to deny right throughout the day yesterday. Pretty well by Brown, able to shake off a couple of Knicks. And the Knicks now lead 83-79.
That's the first defensive error that Patrick Ewing may have made in this ballgame. He just got caught standing straight up. Chucky Brown took advantage. The reason why Maxwell and the Jason Williams trade wouldn't work straight up. Vernon Maxwell is a base year compensation player. You'll explain that.
I will later. After the telecast. That basket won't count. Brown is called for the foul. It's 4. Elie will sit down. Here comes Murray. Matt, I love when you use those big words in financial terms.
Base year compensation basically means he's got a very low salary. Even though he makes well over $1 million, he is a lot less than that on the book. So he can only be traded dollar for dollar for another player. And Jason Williams is well up over $1 million. Who isn't over $1 million anymore?
Now Ewing will get a rest. Bonner returns. Charles Smith has had the hot hand today. He's hit his last 6 shots, 13 points, 8 rebounds, a couple of blocks. Knicks 84, Rockets 79, minute and a half left. In the third, Marv Albert, Matt Gugas, Ahmad Rashad from Madison Square Garden. Olajuwon, yes. 84-81 Knicks. So Akeem heating it up. 10 of his 21 here in the third. Drexler all over Starks. Looking for a three-pointer. Can't find the room. They double up on Smith. Harper for 3. Yes! And Derek Harper continues the streak. He's hit at least 1 3-point field goal in each of the last 26 games. The NBA all-time record held by Michael Adams. He hit in 43 straight for Denver back in 1988. Knicks by 6. 30 seconds to go in the third. Drexler gets an offensive rebound. Again, it's Mason against Olajuwon. A matchup that has not worked for the Knicks, but this time Starks over to help out, and he ties him up.
And the last 2 times that Akeem has caught the ball, the Knicks team defense responding, knowing that Mason is overmatched. They have come down and gotten all over Akeem. Terrific play by John Starks to at least keep Olajuwon from shooting the ball.
Off the scramble, the Knicks come away with it. Harper, Mason on the wing. Mason kept alive by Starks. And the Knicks will nurse the clock. And hear it from the crowd. 10 seconds left in the third. The Knicks lead by 6. Down to 5. Smith for 3. Bonner 87. And the Rockets 81, and the Patrick Ewing-Akeem Olajuwon duel will continue on to the fourth quarter. Akeem turning it around in the third. 21 for Olajuwon, 25 for Ewing. We'll return to Madison Square Garden right after these messages and a word from your local station.
Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Welcome back to the NBA on NBC as we head to the fourth quarter, and the Knicks with an 87-81 lead on the Rockets. They have led most of the way. Knicks outscored the Rockets 28-26 in the third quarter. A strong third for Akeem Olajuwon after the shaky start by Akeem and the Rockets. Patrick Ewing will get a brief rest. Let's check in with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Marv, during that break, Rudy Tomjanovich is telling his team they're trying to work on getting Akeem getting better post-up position. He seems to be getting moved around in the post. They want to get him a better post-up position, and then he wants the team to play better team defense on the other end. Marv?
All right, Ahmad. Charles Smith now has 16 points, and he's given the Knicks an 89-81 lead. Olajuwon pops it back out to Drexler. Team guarded by Mason to the spin. Way off. Drexler able to field it. Cassell for three. Just did beat the 24. Starks and Harper in the backcourt. Smith with Mason and Bonner up front. And Louis Brillo blowing the whistle, and apparently a leg block was called. A new 24 given to the Knicks.
Charles Smith has been co-featured offensively in this game along with Patrick Ewing, and he has responded inside and out.
Starks for three. John Starks with his third from downtown. 3 of 5 from beyond the three-point line. The Knicks lead 92-81. John Starks a question mark for today's game because of the shoulder injury. Did not start. Hubert Davis did, but Starks has done a good job. Nice hit fake. Smith over the block, and a foul is called.
John Starks spotting up on the weak side as Charles Smith was working inside, and Clyde Drexler giving way too much room to the dangerous John Starks beyond the three-point line. Beautiful spin move by Olajuwon, eluding Anthony Mason, but Charles Smith coming over to knock that shot away. However, a foul on the play. When Ewing has been guarding Olajuwon, they've tried to play straight up to not give any openings outside. With the smaller Mason on, the Knicks know they have to come and help.
Mason picking up his second foul. The Knicks 92 and the Rockets 83. 23 points for Akeem Olajuwon. Greg Anthony has checked back in. Smith with the ball fake. Smith with another fake. It counts, and the foul. Charles Smith is showing us moves that the Knicks have rarely seen.
Well, here is one man who is glad that Otis Thorpe is in Portland, as he is having his way with Pete Chilcutt. He is just getting supreme #1 position in the lane, and nothing anybody can do. Chilcutt is not strong enough to push Charles Smith off the block.
Three-point play for Smith. He has 19 points. Charles Smith began the season impressively, then hit a downswing. Tender knees a factor, though he did not use it as an excuse. He has been up and down recently. He's done it offensively and defensively today. Chilcutt with the save, handled by Smith. Starks with the pull-up for three. Mason tried to tear it away, knocked away. Smith on the recovery. And a loose ball foul called. Sam Cassell called for his first.
John Starks talking to himself a little bit right now, not happy with his decision on that fast break, taking that shot. Actually, he was thinking about throwing the alley-oop to Anthony Bonner, thought better of it, and took a four shot, but excellent board work by Mason to get another possession.
Knicks with a 12-point lead. Anthony for three. And Chilcutt rebounds. Drexler starts, and then a stop by Smith. And a foul is called. What a move Putting the move on John Starks, and then Charles Smith called for the foul.
By Drexler in the open floor with a crossover dribble. Nothing John Starks could do but put out the Matador cape there as Drexler beats Starks, but Charles Smith in there to try to stop him.
That presents Genuine Moments.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome your newest Houston Rockets from the University of Houston by Slamma Jamma, Clyde Drexler! Today's Miller Genuine Draft Genuine Moment taking us back to last Tuesday night at the Summit in Houston. Clyde Drexler introduced to the crowd, then joined Tracy Murray, team owner Leslie Alexander at courtside to check out his new ball club. In recognition of that moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Clyde Drexler playing his third game as a member of the Houston Rockets. Clyde was telling me last night, as he prepared for the matchup against Anthony Bonner of the Knicks, he said, you know, I had Anthony as a camper when I ran a clinic in St. Louis. Bonner grew up in St. Louis, went to St. Louis University, and he says he looks at the team rundown. He can't believe Bonner is a 5-year veteran. He remembers him when he was a little kid.
Well, Clyde at 32 is talking about playing another 4 or 5 years.
Clyde in excellent physical shape. The Knicks lead by 10. 2.5 gone by in the fourth. Shot clock at 6. Anthony shooting. Greg Anthony, 3 of 6 from the field. He has 10 points. It has been another solid effort by Greg Anthony.
And that's set up by Anthony Mason. Nothing happening for the Knicks offense there, and Mason created something.
Chilcutt stripped and fouled by Mason. For the Knicks, their third team foul. Rockets with 2.
Well, Chilcutt and Drexler hooking up once again on a give-and-go play. They did it earlier in the first half of the ballgame, getting an easy dunk for Chilcutt. Drexler again, he gets better post-up position as soon as the Rockets get a chance to have a couple of practices with him to know how he likes to operate inside. He is very clever, and they can throw lobs to him for alley-oops.
Puts the move on Starks. Ewing over to help. And it will be Houston ball with 13 on the 24. Drexler and Cassell now in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Chilcutt, and Murray on the front line. Knicks shooting 53% for the game. Houston at 47%. Murray for 3. Rebounded by Stark.
Even though Murray got an open shot there, excellent team defense by the Knicks. Everybody looked like they were on a string, making the proper rotation.
Mason. Oh, he powered his way. Drexler on the open floor. Finding Murray, and he's fouled. It counts. What a shot by Tracy Murray. A beautiful cross-court pass from Clyde Drexler. Now Murray to the line. The foul committed by Greg Anthony.
Well, Drexler once again creating in the open floor in a 2-on-4 situation. Tracy Murray known for just spotting up beyond the three-point line. If he can start doing some things in the open floor, he'll get more playing time.
Well, the Rockets taking possession, making for a potential 4-point play out of this. They're down by 10. Murray again to the drive. And again, he's fouled. This time it's Bonner getting a piece of him. And Tracy Murray will shoot 2.
We're seeing more and more of these young players like Tracy Murray, Hubert Davis for the Knicks, Dennis Scott for the Orlando Magic, known as perimeter shooters, and realize that teams are going to get up in their chest to take away that shot. They are going to have to improve their ball handling and ability to score other ways or create plays for other people.
A very solid day for both Drexler and Murray. 13 points now for Murray. Drexler with 18. The Knicks 97 and the Rockets 89. Starts for 3. Ewing try to get to it. And the outside official will make the call. Louis Griddle says last touch by Houston.
We talked about the Rockets being a very poor offensive rebounding team. Actually, the Knicks are not that much better, but they have been the more aggressive team on both backcourts this afternoon.
Ewing, and he draws the foul. Murray picks up his fourth. The crowd anticipating that it would be Olajuwon. Olajuwon has 4. Patrick Ewing is 5 out of 8 at the line.
Patrick doing the right thing with Olajuwon with 4 fouls, challenging him at every opportunity when he gets the ball inside, not waiting for the double team to come, making the quick, hard move into the lane.
The Knicks have led by as many as 13. They had that 13-point lead at the start as they opened up with a 22-9 spurt. This game was tied at 75. The Rockets led briefly. They had a 75-73 lead. And now the Knicks are up 98-91 as Cassell is able to throw it home. Sam Cassell off the bench for 15 points. Starks coughed it up. Here's Drexler in a race with Anthony. Drexler going all the way. Knicks wanted an offensive foul. On the rebound is Drexler. And it's down to 5.
And Anthony very upset. He felt that Clyde Drexler just pulled him out of the way, and he actually did as the Rockets are starting to creep back in.
And Pat Riley wants to talk it over. 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks lead by 5. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
After students who can hang above the rim. But for the student, it's important to support others, working quietly to take you even higher.
NBC is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old. Get into the cold. By Jeep, makers of Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
Well, it has been a magnificent game for Clyde Drexler. 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. We still have 7:15 left in the fourth quarter. And one of the people most happy about the trade for Drexler, Hakeem Olajuwon, who is delighted to rejoin his University of Houston teammate. Yesterday, we talked with Hakeem about the Drexler trade.
I've been playing with Otis for about 6 years now. And I hate to see that you're losing a player like Otis. Then on the other hand, when you look at what you're getting back with Clyde and Tracy Morris, just a wonderful feeling knowing that Clyde will take care of the backcourt. He does so many things so well.
Well, we see the quick strike capability that Clyde Drexler gives to the Rockets. He's number 2 all-time active players in steals, and coming from Portland, teams like Seattle, teams like Phoenix know how to create offense from defense.
Oh, what a move in traffic. Anthony Mason has hit 5 out of 7. He has 10 points, and the Knicks now lead 100-93 with just under 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Olajuwon had it knocked away, able to recover, then again batted, this time by Starks. It'll be Houston ball with 7 on the 24.
Well, Mason keeping the ball alive as Bonner did on the play before, as the Rockets just not able to get a body on people, as Olajuwon trying to challenge the shot of Ewing, getting offensive rebounding opportunities to others.
Off-balance shot by Tracy Murray. Derek Harper has returned. He's in the backcourt with John Starks, Patrick Ewing, now Charles Smith and Anthony Mason up front. Interior pass from Ewing, from Mason, who was fouled. That's been a specialty of Patrick Ewing. Foul committed by Chilcutt, his 3rd. 4th team foul by the Rockets. The Knicks are over the limit. And Chucky Brown will check back in for Houston. Coming on for Pete Chilcutt. 8 points for Chilcutt.
No question. Patrick Ewing and Anthony Mason on the same wavelength. Every time Patrick gets it in the post and the double comes, he knows where Anthony Mason is going to be, and he's been delivering the ball.
Ewing feeling for Olajuwon. Getting position. Hakeem also not looking to pick up number 5. Has to be very selective defensively. The Knicks 102, the Rockets 93. Drexler wide open. Lost his man, John Starks.
And this is another play that the Rockets will be able to use with Drexler and Hakeem. Either that backdoor cut on the baseline or curling around the sides of Drexler poses a difficult problem.
Loose ball foul. From the Rockets, Don Murray.
Patrick Ewing having no problem with Olajuwon today. As far as strength is concerned, he has had his way as far as feeling body and getting good shots off. Drexler hiding behind Olajuwon there, either ready to curl, pop out, or go back door as he did there.
Rockets over the limit, so Ewing to the line. He's 6 of 10 at the line. Matt, you look back to the 7-game series of the NBA Finals last season, and neither the Knicks nor the Rockets were able to reach 100 points in a single game.
And the first meeting this year, 93 to 77. It's a new era with the new rules, and of course, Drexler going to the Rockets changes the tempo of this game.
Yes, Knicks over 100. The Rockets will surpass the century mark. Knicks by 8. 5:35 to go in the fourth. Olajuwon again, played by Mason. And then trying to dish it off as Ewing came over to double.
Olajuwon trying to hook up with Chucky Brown on that double team, but there again, these two players have not played that much with each other, not familiar with the passing and catching.
Smith, Charles Smith with much confidence in the shot here this afternoon. He has 21 points, his season high on a couple of occasions, 24. The Knicks lead by 10, and the Rockets call for a timeout. 4:58 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Anthony Mason making things happen for the New York Knicks, and Charles Smith, who has done it inside and done it outside as well.
4:58 remaining, fourth quarter. The Knicks with a 10-point lead on the Rockets. A reminder, next Sunday right here on NBC starting 12:30 Eastern. Another twin bill, Scottie Pippen leading the Bulls into the Magic Kingdom. Penny and Shaq leading Orlando to the best record in the Eastern Conference. And then Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning of the Hornets go up against Sir Charles and his sons, or some of you will see the Jazz and the Nuggets. That'll be next Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on NBC. Both teams with 3 conventional timeouts and a 20 remaining. Both the Knicks and the Rockets with records of 32 and 17. Houston has won 3 in a row. Knicks come off 2 straight, both over Miami. Cassell, one count, 24-second violation.
Well, even though Sam Cassell has been finishing games for Houston, I'm a little surprised that Kenny Smith or Tracy Murray not in the game along with Elie or Drexler to have some 3-point threats out there on the floor. Not that the Rockets want to come down and start launching threes wildly, but you want to have that capability when the ball goes inside to Olajuwon.
Well, that has been the philosophy the last couple of years of Rudy Tomjanovich, first with Scott Brooks, and then last year and this season with Sam Cassell. Several weeks ago, Kenny Smith expressed his feelings about the fact that he was not getting enough playing time. Brown rebounding the Starks miss. It is Cassell with Drexler in the backcourt. Here's Cassell. Yes. Well, Sam not discouraged by having that three-pointer waved off by the 24-second clock. Comes right back.
Never lacking in confidence and really gets it up for the New York Knicks. He feels he can take the ball wherever he wants. He can get into the lane.
The Knicks lead is 8. 4 minutes remaining in the fourth. Harper for 3. Derek Harper, the master of the clutch shot in particular from downtown, hitting his second three-pointer of the game. 108-97 Knicks. Starks broke up that pass.
And the Knicks had to force pass after pass on that last possession against very tough defense by the Rockets.
Starks for 3. John Starks, who did it against the Rockets at the Summit earlier this season, has come up with 4 from downtown here this afternoon. And Houston calls for time. 3:27 left in the fourth. The Knicks 111 and the Rockets 97.
Take on Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns for the Jazz face the Nuggets next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern on NBC. NBA on NBC.
The Knicks being hounded and pressured by the Houston Rocket defense. Harper keeps himself moving, finally gets open with the shot clock winding down. John Stark, who loves to put the dagger in the heart, coming down. Pat Riley would rather see that ball go inside, then out, and then the shot, but he'll take that three right there.
Sam Cassell obviously injured his elbow, and the Rockets checking it over. Sam Cassell apparently all right as he takes a bump from Ewing on the drive. 3:19 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks now lead 111-97. Knicks have done it with a three-point shot this afternoon. They've hit 10 of 21 from downtown, 4 for Starks, 4 of 9. Harper 2 out of 5. Harper's coming late. Rockets 7 of 19 in the three-point shooting department. Sam Cassell has hit 2 out of 3. Anthony Mason, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and a season high of 7 assists. The Knicks won 11. The Rockets 98. Bad pass out by Ewing. Drexler off the steal. Finds Elie for 3. Yes. Mario Elie keeping the Rockets alive. It's a 10-point Knick lead. They double up on Harper. Mason able to handle. Finding Starks. John Starks feeling it. That shot might have been a little too quick for Pat Riley, but no complaints. Here's Chucky Brown.
Well, John Starks will be the first one to tell you he plays his best basketball when he doesn't think. Just react. When he's open, he wants to shoot.
And Starks draws the foul. It's called on Brown, who brushed by him. That's 5 on Chucky Brown, who has been logging the playing time, although this is only his 9th game with Houston. As we mentioned earlier, he was signed to a second 10-day contract this past Tuesday, signed when Carl Herrera was injured. And Chucky Brown, with the shortage up front, has been receiving the playing time. The Knicks at the line are now 14 of 23, not good, of under 60%.
Imagine trying to play any kind of sport, a contact sport, with a partially dislocated shoulder. In basketball, you're always bumping into people. Your arms are always outstretched. John has an unusually high threshold of pain.
The Knicks 115 of the Rockets 103. Just under 2.5 remaining in this fourth quarter. Cassell kicks it out. Elie for 3. Yes. Mario Elie again. He's come on late. He now has 11 points. The Knicks 115. The Rockets 106.
That's why Rudy T has Cassell in the ballgame. He's able to create those kinds of shots for the three-point shooter.
We're approaching 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Ewing with the drop step. And a loose ball foul. Foul against the Rockets. It's on Drexler. Both teams are over the foul limit, so these are all shooting fouls, and Ewing will go to the line. He is 7 of 12 at the foul line.
It looked like the Rockets were going to get another fast break opportunity as Drexler and Ewing battling for the basketball. Looked like incidental contact there. Clyde not happy with the call. A major break for the Rockets, for the Knicks. Even though they lead by 9 points, it looked like the Rockets are starting to get themselves going and making a final rush here.
Ewing with 30. Olajuwon with 23. It's been a quiet fourth quarter for Hakeem. He came on strong in the third. Sam Cassell handling. Cassell firing for 3. And the Rockets hanging around as they hit from long range. 117-109 the score. Knicks led by as many as 14. Down to a minute and 40 remaining in the fourth. Ewing is stopped and tied up. Beautiful play by Olajuwon.
Well, all afternoon, Patrick Ewing has been working and bodying Olajuwon, beating him into the lane, powering to the basket. This time, Olajuwon holds his ground and forces to jump off.
That was the fourth rejection by Hakeem Olajuwon. Houston has hit its last 6 shots. They're down by 8. Minute 25 to go in the fourth. Harper got the step. Smith. And back comes Cassell. Stopped by Starks. Drexler for 3. Kept alive by Brown. Again looking for the three. We come up on a minute to go. Cassell. Olajuwon shooting. Yes. 117-111. It's down to 6 with 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. They double up on Harper again. And a foul is called. It's a block on Cassell, who lost his balance.
Can't say enough about the job that Sam Cassell is doing, keeping the Rockets in this ball game, coming up with loose balls, penetrating. Here he draws the defense and finds the open man, Akeem Olajuwon. And Sam Cassell not afraid to take that three-point shot, just a 30% three-point shooter, as here he tries to draw the charge on Harper by pulling the offensive player down. Does not get away with it.
It has been a sensational game for Cassell as the Knicks continue to have trouble at the line. Cassell with 10 assists, that equals a season high. 21 points, all off the bench. Sam had a conversation with the official, Louis Brillo. He's also been chatting with Deion Sanders, another Florida State alum. Timeout is taken by the Rockets. Out of 55 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Knicks 118 and the Rockets 111. Well, Matt, to some Knicks fans, the series dating back to last June has continued. Knicks winning in Houston earlier. If they hold on to win here, well, it's 5-9. Just keep it going.
Aren't you explaining these rules?
All right, just under 1 minute remaining. Fourth quarter. There's the timeout rundown. The Knicks with a 118-111 lead. And as we resume, it will be Houston in possession.
And Rudy C. has inserted another three-point shooter onto the floor, Tracy Murray, to give Sam Cassell another target.
Rockets have hit 10 of 17 from the field here in the fourth quarter. The Knicks 10 of 23. Cassell with the ball fake, finding Olajuwon, and he was fouled. So that will stop the clock, and it presents 2 free throws to Akeem Olajuwon. Ewing called for the foul, his 5th.
There is just no doubt in Sam Cassell's mind that he cannot take the ball wherever he wants to. If anybody backs off him, he's not afraid to take the shot, but he has a knack of getting into the lane, drawing the defense, and delivering the ball beautifully.
Akeem 5 of 7 at the line. He is a 79% free throw shooter. It is only a 6-point lead. The Knicks 118 and the Rockets 113. Rockets wanted a trap they could not get to Starks. Now the Knicks spread it out.
A little surprised they didn't foul Mason. He's been a very poor foul shooter for the Knicks of late.
8 on the 24. Starks comes up short. Dangerous pass, but Olajuwon got away with it. Here's Elie. It comes. Elie on the drive. Try to draw the foul. Cuts it to 3, and a foul is now called. That will put Harper at the line. Cassell with the quick foul off the inbounds for Cassell, his 3rd foul. 23 seconds remaining, and the Knicks lead once 14 is down to 3. Harper is 1 for 2 at the line.
And on the year, Derek Harper, a 75% shooter, much improved from last season.
An 18-7 run by the Rockets. The Knicks now lead by 4.
And Mario Elie in a heated conversation with Derek Harper as they keep jawing at one another as Elie trying to disconcert Derek Harper.
And Harper hits on both. And the Rockets take a timeout. 23 and 1/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Hitting 4 of 7 from downtown in the fourth quarter. 23 seconds to go. The Knicks lead is now 5.
And the Rockets going to try this 2-man game with Murray and Cassell and let Sam create.
And he does, and picks up the foul call against the Knicks. Foul on Mason. That is his 4th, and Cassell will head to the line.
It's been so easy for Sam to get into the lane, get to the basket area. He's injured his elbow area before, now his wrist, that he's really not letting things open up for them, looking back to find a three-point shooter. However, they just want to get a quick score as they can, take the two if it's there, and then the foul, just try to wind the game down there. However, the Rockets are out of regular timeouts. They just have a 20 left as Mason, the poor free throw shooter, will go to the bench. And Hubert Davis, a much better free thrower, although he has struggled some himself of late.
Sam Cassell cuts it to a three-point lead, 16 and 5/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Starks able to shake off the defender Drexler, and then a foul is called. With 13 and 3/10 seconds to go, Drexler made contact, and he picks up the foul. The high point men in the game, Patrick Ewing with 31, Charles Smith with 21, Derek Harper 17, John Starks with 16. Starks has hit 2 of 2 from the line. Olajuwon with 27, Clyde Drexler with 22, and Sam Cassell providing a lift with 23 points. Starks is a 72% free throw shooter and gives the Knicks a 4-point advantage.
Rudy Tomjanovich alerting Sam Cassell. No timeouts left. Run the same play, the high screen roll. Actually screen spot up with Tracy Murray.
5-point lead. We come up on 10 seconds. Cassell was looking for the three. Murray from way downtown. And the rebound is handled by Olajuwon. Time running out, though. Elie off the mark, and that will do it. So the Knicks sweep the season series from the Rockets. They take 2 out of 2. They win here this afternoon, 122 to 117. The Knicks go to 33 and 17, and the Rockets at 32 and 18, and they see the 3-game win streak stopped. Again, the final, the Knicks 122, the Rockets 117. That'll wrap it. Coming up next, NBC Sports takes you to the links for the conclusion of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. For Matt Gukas,